All right, let's go over the foundations of how the master keyword list works. I think that this is, we're going to start talking about, and actually going to go create one, and then we'll navigate through one so you can get an idea. But we're going to look at this several different times and ways because it's a little complicated at first. But I think once you get it, it's like one of those magic like puzzles, those 3D puzzles where it looks like nothing and then all of a sudden it pops, then you can't unsee it. That's what this is. So we're going to go through and we're going to teach you how to look at the data. And don't worry, it's going to be overwhelming at first. But then once you learn to read the data, you're never going to want to go back because then it's going to really help to inform some really great decisions for you. So understanding the master keyword list. The master keyword list is a term that we trademarked that basically is the collection of all of the keywords that are driving sales for a niche. Now, these are the highly relevant keywords generally, so at least 30% relevancy and at least 400, 450 searches a month. That means that they're enough to care about and to analyze and to target at launch, because sometimes you get some higher converting long tail keywords with a couple hundred searches a month. You're going to want to target those eventually too, but maybe not at launch. And then you'll have some keywords that only a couple people are taking advantage of. So we really need to understand how to look at this keyword cloud, we'll call it, and how to bucket the keywords into different buckets so you understand how to treat those keywords. Now, the idea is that what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the keywords from those different buckets and we're going to try to curate them into one list. That one list is what we're going to use to analyze the niche and the demand, to go eventually write our listing. We're going to then use those keywords to go launch a bunch of ads. And we're going to use those keywords to go track your progress later. So we're going to be tracking on that heat map you saw when you're tracking your ranks. We're going to go track the progress of those keywords later too. So curating this list of keywords is a very important first step, right? And so what it means is that if we've got this winter soft dog hats, French bulldog hat, windproof dog hats for small dogs, dog hats for small dogs, or dog hat for small dogs, hat for small medium dogs, and small dog hat. All of these are different keywords, right? And then you've got keywords that are more specific to to other types, right? Like we were talking about variation specific keywords. So dog hat denim, dog hat small dogs, like that's a more generic one. Dog hat polar bear, that's very, very specific, right? And so what we're doing is we're going to look for keywords from all of the competitors and then aggregate those together so that we can really understand what's driving the keywords for different niches. And then we can look at the sub niches and see, are there any of them variation specific keywords? Are they relevant? Can I get sales from them? What style should I make of this product in order to win, right? So this is what a master keyword looks like. And you'll see here that we've got a lot of, in this dog hat like comparison, we've got a lot of different types. We've got dog bucket hats, hats for dogs with ear holes, puppy hats, dog caps, dog rain hats, dog hats, hats for small dogs, right? And the search volume is low. The relevancy is here, and you've got different relevancy numbers. And then you've got the organic ranks of these sellers here. And you'll see that the best sellers tend to be more ranked on more keywords. And then as you go down the list of sellers based on, it's ranked by sales. As you go down the list of best sellers, you're going to see more and more gaps in ranking. So that really shows you that, SEO, indexing, Amazon keywords really matter for success on Amazon, for how many sales you get and for driving a lot of sales. And again, the toiletry bag example that I told you earlier, you really want to find products. And so what we do is, let's say we have a master keyword list of all the best toiletry bags on Amazon. All of these words share different words, and we call those shared words roots. So cap might be a root, dog cap might be a root. And so for toiletry bags, you can see here that from the master keyword list, there are 215 keywords that have the phrase toiletry bag in it. And that's 374,000. But travel toiletry bag is 33 keywords with 92,000. Toiletry bag man, toiletry bag traveling, cosmetic travel bag. And if you search down, you would see dop kit, you would see shaving bag. So you would see all these other different root words with how many keywords have that root and the search volume of those roots. And that's really important to really understand the demand. And then your ranking attribution is basically you get credit for match type. And so dog hats for large dogs, dog hats for small dogs, dog hats for small dogs, dog hat for small dogs. You basically are getting credit for dog hat. And at the same time, if someone searches for dog hat and makes a sale, you're going to get credit for all these because it has some variation of dog hat in it. So that's a really important concept for you to understand, is that you don't need to make a click, an add to cart, and a sale on every single keyword to rank for it. Because Amazon's going to give you credit for thousands of keywords every time there's an action. And it's understanding that general concept that's going to allow you to be smarter with your ad spend and to be able to try to get rank easier. So you're going to know how to build your listing smarter. You're going to know how to target your ads smarter because you understand how Amazon gives you attribution and ranking credit and ranking juice. So which listing receives more ranking juice credit? So if they search for dog hat, you're going to get, you have no keywords in your bullet points. That's bad. So your competitor is going to get more ranking juice because they have exact match keywords, right? So let's go ahead and there's no dog hat in the title either, which is really important. You have to make sure you have the exact match, not a plural match. That matters too. All right, let's skip ahead. This is all indexing stuff. This is listing writing. We're going to go find a product. But let's talk about budget. There's only two levers that matter for understanding your budget, right? Now, if you got a more competitive product, the cost per click, if it's like as a replenishable product like skincare or supplements like we were talking about earlier, or a product that people purchase more than once, the competitors are usually playing what we call an LTV game, a lifetime value game. So they're willing to spend more for the acquisition of that customer than they make in profit on that first sale. That's a different game than you and I have to play if you're only expecting to make one sale, right? And so your cost per click and your marketing expenses go up. So what I've got here is a general rule of thumb, and there's going to be three different matrix that you want to look at. You've got a 45-day matrix, a 60-day matrix, and a 90-day matrix. Now, this is the amount of inventory you're ordering. Now, this is largely going to be based on where you source it and how you ship it. If you're sourcing from overseas and you're shipping by air, you can still do the 45-day matrix. If you're sourcing from the US, you can do the 45-day matrix. If you're sourcing from South America, you can do the 60-day matrix, even if it's by sea, right? If you're shipping from Asia, you pretty much need to do the 90-day matrix. Now let's deal with the 90-day matrix. I think most products fall into the category of being manufactured in Asia, shipping by sea, right? It's going to be the most cost-effective way to bring it over. So generally, you're looking at needing at least 90 days of inventory. Now, the two factors that impact how much money you're going to spend are going to be the average landed cost, so how much that product actually costs you to get it into Amazon, not what it costs you at the factory, right? What it costs you actually after you ship it, and you've paid some, you've paid to get it there, and the number of units you're selling per day. So like the velocity. Those are it. That's it. It's just those two numbers. So here's an example. I've got a product that I land for $5. I'm probably selling that product for $25, right? At least 5 times. But I land it for $5. Let's say I'm selling 20 units a day. I need $18,000 capital to launch that product. I'm selling 20 a day times 90 days, right? So that means that I need 1,800 units, right? I'm selling 600 units a month, I need 3 months of inventory. That's 1,800 units. Now you might do the math and you might say to yourself, well, 1,800 units times $5 is only $9,000. Why is it 18,000? Because you have marketing expenses, you have your ads, you have you have to place another order after a few weeks, of that product sitting in Amazon, because there's another whole lead time for you to get more inventory, right? So you have more expenses than what it just costs you to get there. You can't just tap your last red cent in inventory and expect to be successful. You need to have some reserves. So we're building in reserves by basically just doubling it for you. And this is going to be a conservative number. Now, let's say that you were shipping this from the US, like you sourced it in the US, or you shipped it by air because it's a lighter product. That same product, $5, 20 units, now you're looking at 9,000 because you need half the inventory. So you can get away with a lower budget if you can ship it faster or source it here in the US. So that's going to be easier on your cash flow, right? Now it can go up pretty quickly from there. If I've got a product that I'm sourcing that costs me $12 and I'm selling it for $48 or $60, and I'm selling 30 units a day, I can make a lot of money on that product. A $60 product, I'm probably, 150% ROI here. I'm making $18. Let's say on the low end, I'm only making $15 a sale, right? If I'm making $15 a sale here and I'm selling 40 units a month, I need $86,000 to launch that product, right? But I'm making $15 times 40 units a day, right? I'm making $600 a day profit on that product. That means if I'm successful and I get that product off the ground and running, in any given month, I'm making about $18,000 profit per month. Let's round it down to 15,000. Over the course of a year, right, I'm going to be making $180,000 profit. That can replace most people's income right there. One product, $12 landed, selling for $60, and selling 40 units a day. Now, that's a very specific style of product, but that brings us into how we're going to start looking for products. We're going to work backwards. The number one key that I've had in success in business, building up multiple, 8-figure businesses, is what our CEO coach taught us. And I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on coaching. My wife and I have both spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on our own education for our own coaching. Working backwards has been the biggest unlock for us. And so I'm going to teach you today how to work backwards, okay? So we're going to work backwards from your budget. If you tell me today that you've only got $10,000 to get started, well, you're going to be on this line right here, right? You're going to be in this line right here. You're going to source something that's cheaper and can move a little bit faster, or you're going to launch something that is a little bit more expensive and moves slower. That's it. Those are the two levers. So this is a very specific range you need to be in. That's how we're going to work backwards today. Now, the problem with working backwards is we're going to use a tool like Jungle Scout. Now, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go open up Jungle Scout. And we've got a code for Jungle Scout. It should work. The code for Jungle Scout should be Seller Systems. I don't know. Marlene, did you verify that? Okay, that's our partner link with the code Seller Systems. It gives them a discount. Okay. Oh, up to 44% off. That's even better. That's awesome.